We are building up to the start of 2024 edition of the Indian Premier League, and in conversation today with us is none other than Kane Williamson of Gujarat Titans. He missed the last season. Kane, firstly, just before moving ahead, I just want to ask you how good does it feel to be back in GT colors and fit and available for the entire season after what had happened last season?
Yeah, I mean, great to be back. Obviously last season was well, I was there for 5 minutes, but it was frustrating and a real learning curve and a real process in terms of the recovery and rehab after that injury. But yeah, and I really enjoyed my brief time here last year, so it's great to be back and get around the group, and looking forward to the start of the season.
Have you had word with the new captain regarding keeping you away from the field placement where you were the last time around? Is it still playing up in your mind?
Not yet, but that's a very good point. Yeah, I'll try and corner him at some stage.
Kane, a lot has changed in the GT camp since you were here last time. You have a new captain in Shubman Gill. So just initial thoughts on, looking to work with him, the talent which he has been. You have seen him in Indian colors. You've seen him with GT in the opening season, and now he's kind of leading the ship. So how excited are you to kind of see him grow in that role, and how much support is he going to get from, a captain like you who has probably been there, done that on numerous occasions in the IPL and for the New Zealand team?
Yeah, I mean, I feel like you asked a bunch of questions there and also provided a lot of the answers. I think you mentioned Shubman's talent. It's out of this world. He's such a gifted cricketer and incredible to watch, and it makes it look all very easy. So, a special player. Had an incredible season last year, and has just continued on in all the formats, playing for India as well. So that's exciting, and a great cricketing brain, and a young guy with a lot of energy, and I think he's really excited at this opportunity, and captaincy, no doubt, something that he's been quite keen to get him involved in, and so he's got a great opportunity here at Gujarat. And my role, it's basically to support and help wherever he sees best fit, but also just buying into his vision, along with the support staff. That there's a great leadership amongst the support staff here that will be very helpful in that picture. So yeah, I think it's just looking forward to getting the season started, and yeah.
Kane, if I could ask you, I wouldn't ask you to reveal your trade secret here, but just, one piece of advice which you would kind of look to give him as he enters into that captaincy domain, because you know what it takes to lead in the IPL, in the international arena. So what would be that one thing which you would tell him, just stick to this, buddy, and you'll be all right?
um, yeah, I mean that look, as it stands, it's in any team that adapts and adjusts, whether it's new players or new captains, that being authentic is really important. And he seems like a very authentic guy in terms of how he goes about everything that he does. So it probably doesn't need to be said, but yeah, I'm looking to support, help if needed, but he's got a great cricketing brain, and he's got a lot of great attributes, as a leader. So yeah, I think he's just excited to get started and start walking that path, which is a slightly different one with a few more responsibilities and a leadership capacity. But I'm sure he'll be fine and do a great job.
There's a fanboy in GT camp who just can't stop talking about Kane Williamson. Sai Sudarshan, the last time I spoke to him, and he was just so excited to link up with you, to talk to you. And in the last 1 year, his career also has seen a very upward curve for what he did with GT, and then what he has gone on to do. So have you had a chance to interact with him, to kind of pick his brain about what is going on? Because he was very excited to talk to you when he had heard that he'll be playing in the same team as you.
Yeah, we've had a few chats. He's an amazing player, and like you mentioned, he had a fantastic year last year, and then went on to represent India, which is an amazing achievement in itself. But he's a young guy that's got a lot of ambition and a huge amount of talent, and he works extremely hard. So um, he's going to keep getting better and better, and yeah, very, very driven, but a fantastic guy, and great to chat to about the game, and another player in the camp that's excited to get the season started. So yeah, it's nice to catch up with Sai again.
Just Kane, talking about yourself now. T20 has long become a sport now. We've been talking, we've been hearing that, just come and whack the ball from ball one. But, plenty of players going around the circuit, just like yourself, you would like to take your time initially and then kind of take the game deep. So how much do you think that has changed when it comes to T20s, and how much do you think the role of anchors or probably players operating around the 130, 140 strike rate still kind of hold relevance in current day and age?
Yeah, I mean, I don't think there's one brand in T20 cricket, but it's more about, as a team, how what your recipe is, and how do you repeat that as well as you can over a period of time. And I've never really liked the word anchor. I think everybody has a different skill set, but has to buy into what's required in the role that they have and the team that they're in, and commit to that. So yeah, I think it's just a balance between the style of cricketers that you put into a side that work together to create a team. And
Yeah.
with myself, and players perhaps that are similar, it's working with your strengths, and continuing to try and improve, and bring in different options to assist in the role that you might have in a team.
Now with the IPL rule book saying that you can have two bouncers in an over, how much of that is going to affect preparations for every batter? Because bowlers now couldn't be that predictable, because there'll be two bouncers coming in an over. So every second, third ball could be a bouncer in the over. So does that change how a batter kind of prepares before a match? Because there'll be plenty of options open for a bowler. So how does the preparation go about, or do you kind of just act on the go?
Yeah, I mean, definitely, like you mentioned, it brings in a slightly different dynamic. I think it's a good thing. It's nice for bowlers to be able to vary their length more. I think along with the impact player, it meant that last season, I think the volume of runs increased, but as batting depth and teams were, there was more
Yeah.
depth. But this adds to a bowler's, I guess, weapons, and so that you're always trying to prepare for what's in front of you and what you might get,
Yeah.
and no doubt that'll be something utilized by all teams throughout the season.
you know Not too far away from the GT camp down south. I'm slightly digressing from the GT bit, but there'll be two players in action in Chennai, Darren Mitchell and Rachin Ravindra. So how excited are you to see them getting rewarded for the kind of year they had personally for the Black Caps, and seeing players from New Zealand kind of emerging on IPL's radar and probably inching closer to consistent game time, like you and Trent Bolt have always been getting in the IPL. So a word on Daryl Mitchell and Rachin Ravindra, especially after the year they had, and now they're in the CSK camp.
Yeah, I mean, both different players on sort of having slightly different journeys, but both have been formidable in the last, I mean, year, particularly for Rachin, but Daryl over the last few years, in all formats, and you just keep seeing their games evolve, sort of on an steep upward curve, and that's been amazing for our team, and like you mentioned, it's great to see that rewarded in the IPL, one of the biggest comps in the world, and like you mentioned, all set to potentially get consistent game time, which they deserve, and they certainly have that quality that demands it. So, slightly different players. One, right at the top of the order, and one sort of in the top middle, but both versatile in what they do, and both great people that commit to what the team's about. So I think that's really, along with their talent and skill set, but that's really what I think makes them who they are, and helps them achieve what they've been able to do in recent times.
Now, Kane, before I let you go, one quick word on one player you are really keen to watch and do well in the IPL this season from the GT camp. You've been here at the preseason camp now. So one player who's exciting you a lot, and Shubman Gill and Sai Sudarshan aren't the options. So you have to look you have to kind of look beyond them now. So one player who has excited you?
Yeah, two players. Honestly, you come here every time you turn up, join a franchise and go to training, and the talent is like incredible, and you're meeting new people, and they walk into the nets and smash it absolutely everywhere, and it's pretty remarkable to watch, and from a batting perspective. But one player, I'm gonna say the seasoned vet in Rudiman Saha.
Interesting pick. And what made you say Saha?
Don't know. You
or was it, or are you kind of following the batting order? The first name came to your mind.
I probably have to come up with a young guy, because we've all seen Reddy for years. But another guy that he really commits to what the team's about. But another guy, I think there's a young guy, Kartik Tyagi, who's got about him, high pace, and swings it. So a really exciting talent, and a player to watch out for.
Fastest cricket score updates या सबसे detailed stats?
क्रिकेट के अंदर बाहर की खबरें
या healthy debates?
सबसे accurate analysis
या fans का craze? सबके लिए एक ही प्लेटफॉर्म, क्योंकि क्रिकेट मतलब क्रिकेट नेक्स्ट।